Hey everyone, welcome to the Freedom for All Inner Circle. I'm Michael Wilson, founder of Processology. Today we're going to be talking about attracting. So how are you going to attract your clients? Whether that's going to be through opt-in pages or through advertisements, or even if you're brick and mortar, ways that you can, processes that you can put in place in order to attract clients. And then also what happens once you attract that client. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new to the membership, basically this inner circle is all about creating freedom in your life through creative processes. Most of the ways that we do that is really focusing on putting not only a simple process in place, but as well as automation. So using the power of automation to try to streamline that process as much as possible. So I believe if you can streamline your tasks, your follow-ups, your anything you may need from your clients and things like that throughout your process, that's going to free up a lot of time and create that freedom and success within your business. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So again, I'm Michael Wilson, founder of Processology. So I'll have the honor of working with you today and talking with you regarding the attract. So within the Processology formula, there are 6 stages. There's going to be attract, offer, deliver, impress, mood, and refer. So we can talk a little bit about each one of these very lightly. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me make a little quick adjustment here. Okay guys, sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So the first one is going to be attract, which we're going to be talking about today. Hopefully you'll be able to leave here with some creative ideas on how you can attract new clients, what you're doing within that process, and what's happening once that is complete. So whether the client decides to take up your offer or not take up your offer. So and then later we're going to go through some of these other stages within the Processology formula. So this is really important part of the business, because part of your business as far as your process goes, because you want to definitely make sure you have a way that you're attracting your clients, as well as a way that you are offering your product to your clients. As well as the way you're offering your product and delivering your service. All of this is going to be very important to the success of your business as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the attract slide and let's talk a little bit about that. Let's get into the fun stuff, right? Okay. So as far as attracting your clients, so if you're an online business, obviously the process is going to be a little bit different, whether you're online or you are brick and mortar. So, but a lot of stuff can be similar for whichever type of business you are, or maybe you're brick and mortar with also an online part of your business as well. So you want to use some of these features. So as far as online goes, we're looking at your opt-ins, your webinars, your mini courses, looking at access to information. So maybe you're offering clients free information on how, for example, with us, we offer 4 ways to create freedom within your business. So these are different things you can do, give information to your customers in exchange for an email or phone number or whatever information that may be important to your business. And then valuable content, basically the same thing as far as mini courses go and the access to information, but this can be anything. You can be doing a 5-minute video, however you want to deliver valuable content. That's very, very powerful, because if you're delivering value to your customer, that's going to make them feel like they can trust you, because they've already used something that was absolutely free, that's benefited their business or changed their mindset or changed their life. So whatever whatever service or product you're offering, if you're able to give them somewhat of a taste, and we see this a lot in throughout different industries today where they'll do 30-day trials. There are 30-day trials. There are, you go to the grocery store and they have taste tests. So that's not like a brick and mortar. So there are many ways to do this where you're giving your customers kind of a sample of what they're going to get. And my model is make them feel like, wow, well, if I got this amount of value from something that's free, imagine what I'll get if I actually paid some money, right? So imagine what I can get if I actually did that. And that's what you want your customers to feel. You want them to feel like working with you is going to benefit their business. So you really have to in a way, kind of visualize that for them before asking for any money. So this is very, very important as far as attracting your customers. So your social presence. So as far as social presence go, it's really important to, which we're going to get to the next one as well as engagement, but the two kind of go together. So it's really important to make sure that you're engaging with customers. Make sure your social presence are consistent as far as your branding, your offerings. Make sure everything is consistent across all platforms that you're supporting. If you're a small business, I would recommend, if managing multiple social media accounts and engaging with multiple social media accounts is something that is overwhelming for you, I would recommend starting off with 1 or 2 social media accounts and focusing on building those up and giving those your full attention. That way you're able to engage and you're able to really create that social presence that's going to be important to growing your business, and it's going to be important to attracting your clients. So you really want to put out value that's going to attract your ideal customer. So we'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit. We get down to the brick and mortar. If you do have a brick and mortar location, a lot of what we're going to be talking about with the Processology formula is still very valuable and will work for whether you're online business, brick and mortar, whatever you're doing, whatever industry, it doesn't matter, because the formula itself is still the same. Either way, no matter what type of business you have, you need to attract customers in some way, one shape, or form, or another. So as far as brick and mortar, things that are really important are going to be appearance. And this is also important for online businesses. If you're selling something, your website and your social media presence you should also pay attention to appearance as well, right? That first, what's the saying, where you have your first, I'm kind of drawing a blank here, guys, sorry about that. But first impression is everything. There we go. So first impression is everything. So you definitely want to make sure that you have your appearance right. Your branding is consistent. You don't want different logos on different sites. You don't want different colors on different sites. You don't want your email to look one way, your website to look another way. So it's really about keeping that consistent with your appearance. That way, your customers, no matter where they find you, they feel like they're talking to the same person or the same company. That's going to be really important as far as building trust. So that's something you want to make sure you're paying attention to. If you are currently not doing that, I would recommend either doing it yourself or working with a branding specialist in order to get your brand together. That way your business is consistent, your message is consistent. So advertisements. So when we talk about advertising, obviously there's a lot of ways you can advertise, whether you're brick or mortar. So if you're doing Facebook, if you're doing Google AdWords, or you're advertising on any other website, or maybe you're doing direct mail or email marketing, text messaging, whatever it is that you're doing, again, just make sure it's consistent, and make sure that you're sending them that advertisement is a clear call to action. That is extremely important. Because let me give you a prime example of a customer that I worked with in the past. So he had a clothing line, and he was advertising to his customers. So in a sense where, like, let's say you're advertising shoes, and then a customer clicks on your ad and you take them to your homepage. So most of the time they're looking at that image, they're looking at that particular shoe, and that's what they want. That's what's grabbing their attention. So if you don't take them to that shoe, or at least to your shoes category on your web page, or if you're brick and mortar, if you're advertising a shoe, have it very clear how to get to that. Maybe have that up front or something of that sort. then you have a good chance of losing that sale, just because clients are going to get frustrated if they can't find what they're looking for, and they're going to leave your site or leave your store. So it's very important to make sure that if you're going to advertise something, especially a specific product, a feature-specific product, that you have a clear call to action so they can purchase that service or product. So you don't want to send them to a home page ever. Whenever you're doing any type of advertising, always send them to a page that is dedicated to what that advertisement is about. And it's very important to make sure that whatever expectation you are setting within that advertisement when you're attracting that customer, that you are fulfilling with whatever landing page you're sending them to, or wherever that destination needs to be the solution to the problem that you had, that whatever attracted them in your advertisement. So make sure that that is very clear. Okay, let's jump in. We'll come back to a little and go through some of these in a little bit more detail as well in a little bit, but let's go ahead and jump into community. So community, especially with brick and mortar, even online business, community can be very powerful to attracting your customers. It gives them a safe place to go to communicate with other like-minded people, other people that are using your service, or maybe they maybe you have a support community. Maybe you have a community that's just for like-minded people that just talk about different subjects. Not only is this valuable information for you because you get a very unique insight on your company and what your clients think about your company, but you also get to know what exactly they want, right? So they're going to be talking, oh, it'd be nice if, you know, we could do this or we could do that, or it'd be nice if I had a way to look this up in my account. So you get a lot of insight from that, so it's very powerful. Now, when we talk about brick and mortar, when we say community, we're talking a little bit different. We're more talking about being involved in your community. So for example, maybe in you're working with the city council, maybe you are involved in the high schools, maybe you are involved in events that are going on in your community. The thing is to build your presence in your community so people know who you are. They see your store, they trust your store because they see you and they trust you in the community. So that can be very powerful. You not only meet a lot of people that may have resources to help your business, but you also have a unique opportunity to build that trust. So that's very important if you are a local brick and mortar business. So now when we talk about location, whether this is online or brick and mortar, location is extremely important. For online, you're talking about your domain. Picking a domain that's right for your business is huge, right? You don't want anything that's too long. You don't want anything that's too complicated. And you don't want anything that's too close to a competitor. So it's definitely something that your domain, look at that as your location. And when they say location is everything, that's very true. So when it comes to brick and mortar, depending on your business type, location can make or break your business. So I would definitely recommend doing your research. Make sure that your product or service is something that's going to be, what's what I'm looking for. Make sure you have the right area for that. So if you want to have maybe your products that you're selling close to your distributors or stores that you work with, whatever it may be, make sure the location is right. Now, if you have something like, let's say, a law office, or maybe you have a dental practice or something of that sort, maybe a gym, whatever it may be, you want to make sure that you're in a location, somewhere that's easy to find, somewhere that has parking, somewhere that has traffic. So for example, you may not want to be a dental office on a back road somewhere where there's very little traffic, because you may not see much walk-in business. So that's very important. Now with online, you don't really get that walk-in. That's a little bit more difficult because you get your walk-ins through building that community, your social presence, and so on. That's how you get people to find you organically. So that's really important for you if you want business that's not paid advertising. It is very critical that you are very active in social media, very active in the online communities, that you're spreading the word about your business, you're meeting people and so on, as well as getting out in your community and meeting the people around you, because you never know what type of resources and help are there to expand your business. So brand, we talked a little bit about when we talked about appearance. So appearance and brand are similar. But when we talk about branding, we're not necessarily just talking about brand visuals. So we're also talking about messaging, right? So when your customer sees your logo or they see your website or your social media, what message are you sending to them, right? So are you sending the message you want to send? A lot of businesses that haven't taken the time to research and plan and really strategically put their brand in place, maybe sending the wrong message to their customers. Maybe their customers don't understand their service or understand their products. And a lot of that has to do with the way you're talking to your customers. Or maybe you have an amazing product that everyone can use, but your messaging does not convey that very well. So definitely branding is more than just visuals, although that is a part of it. So when it comes to your logo, your website, your graphics you're putting out, your images you're putting out, you want to make sure that they're very consistent what the brand message you are trying to convey. So for example, if you are a business that is more playful, and that's more of your culture, where you're more playful and fun, you don't want a really serious, plain kind of logo that may be on something like a law firm, for example, something that feels more corporate. You may want to go with something that's more colorful, more playful, something that shows the playfulness that you're trying to offer to your clients. So they know, okay, well, if I go with this company, they are a little bit more playful, they're a little bit more down to earth, a little bit more like me. So you want to show that kind of messaging through your branding. Now, free samples. While yes, this is something we have under brick and mortar, it can work for any business, whether you're online or brick and mortar. We talked a little bit about this earlier, but it's really about giving value. Whether that value is, for example, you go to the grocery store, that was an example I used earlier, so I'll keep going with that. If you're selling cookies, right? So maybe have sample size packs of cookies, or maybe be at the grocery store with your cookies open to where people can taste your cookies. So the goal is to, again, give them a little bit of a tease, give them a little bit of, show them what they can have if they purchase your product or service. So for example, let's say you are a dental office. Let's use that as an example, just to show different industry. Maybe you'll offer one free cleaning. Maybe you'll offer a free exam or something of that sort, to get the opportunity to show that you have great customer service, that you care about your customers. You give them valuable information regarding taking care of their teeth and so on. If you are a consultant or a law firm or something of that sort, maybe you're offering a free consultation. Maybe you're offering 1 hour free to give them as much value as possible. So this is what we're talking about when we say free samples. Let me think of another industry that may work. Maybe, for example, you sell clothes, you sell t-shirts, let's say that, or you sell hats or something like that. So maybe you give one away for free, right, to get them hooked, to see the quality. Or maybe you send a sample of the material that you use, so they can get a feel for your quality. Things like that you can do for free. Now, if you're online business, if you're consultants like us, a lot of what we do as far as free samples, it's more of offering e-guides, video courses, and mini courses, things like that, that will give you valuable information that will help your business today. Obviously, our goal is we want you to see that we know what we're doing, we know what we're talking about, and this information does work. And this is information that our goal is to always give you information that you can take and implement yourself if you want. So that's the way we do that as far as free samples. There are endless ways that you can do that. So start thinking about your business and what you can do today to really start offering something to your clients that will help build that trust, because that's really what's important about attracting your clients, right? Our clients want to work with someone they feel they can trust, something that's in their price range. And we'll get to it in a minute about cost. Is going to be your target audience, right? Because, for example, if you know, let's say that for a couple of minutes, but let's go ahead and get into customer service. So customer service is key. No one wants to work with anyone that's rude. No one wants to work with anyone that's not servicing their products in some shape or form. Unless you're, this big company with billions of customers where it is just impossible for you to answer emails right away or answer calls or whatever it may be, or if a client walks into your brick and mortar location. This is key, right? It's very important. So I don't know if you've ever gone somewhere and you've had a bad experience. You're like, I'm never going back there again. I'm never buying any more of their products. As a matter of fact, not only am I never going back, and I'm ever going to buy any more of their products, I'm going to tell all my friends and family not to go there and not to buy their products, right? So this spreads really fast. There's this thing of, bad news spreads faster than good news. So it's really important to make sure your clients are happy. And one of the ways that we do that is with the Processology formula is when we start talking about mood. That is really important because at the end of the day, you really need to know what's the mood. So what we use at Processology is, do our customers feel fantastic? Are they happy? Or are they sad? And that's really important to us. We need to know that. If they're fantastic, great. Maybe this would be a good customer to ask for a referral. If they're happy, that's great. We're happy you're happy, but how can we make you feel fantastic? We want to know that. And if you're sad, that's a big no-no. So we take that and that gets assigned to somebody right away, because we want to reach out to our customer and figure out what we did wrong. And is there any way for us to resolve that? So customer service is key. You want your customers to keep coming back. If you have brick and mortar, one of the things that you hear a lot of is customers going to the store and nobody approaches them to help them. Nobody offers them any service. So it's very important. If you see somebody walk into your store, greet them. Say hello. Do you need anything? Is there anything I can help you find? And if they say no, don't be too pushy. If they say no, let them go and do their thing on their own. But maybe let them know if you do need any help finding anything, I'll be over here. So it's all about that customer service. Maybe have cold drinks on a hot day available for when customers come in the store, they can cool off. Little things like that aren't very expensive for you to do can go a long way as far as making your customers feel special. So another part of the Processology formula is impressing your customers. So you can impress individuals within the attract stage as part of attracting, as well as impress them once they are a customer. So let's go ahead and jump into a little bit about what I was mentioning as far as cost in your tribe. So, sorry guys, my voice is getting a little dry here. I'm gonna get a little drink here. Thank you. So when it comes to cost in your tribe, so the thing is, you gotta understand you're probably not gonna get everyone, right? And the key is really to attract individuals that are your tribe. So I'll give you an example, and I'll use Processology as an example because I think it's a really good example. When I first started the company, some of you may know, we recently went through some rebranding. We were previously Max Business Consulting. Now, one of the problems that, one of the reasons I decided to go through a rebranding phase was one, to really clarify our message, two, to figure out, really hone in on who our tribe is, who we're looking for as far as clients. And a big thing was I have a big part of my heart that's for startups and small businesses. The issue with consulting is that it's really hard because some small businesses, they don't necessarily have the funds to pay a consultant, however much money it may be to resolve their problem. So it really came to this point of me figuring out, okay, as far as what I do and what the price point is and what we do here at Processology, startups may not be our target customer, because although yes, we want to help them, we may have to figure out a different way to help them, because as far as offering our services, there's no way for us to stay in business and help small businesses if we have to change our pricing to match their budgeting, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, guys. So it's really important to say, okay, well, we need to work with businesses that make, from this to this much per year revenue, that maybe have this from 5 to 50 employees or 100 employees, whatever that may be. We're looking for, you may even get down to a point where, depending on your business or service, you're looking for individuals that are married. You may be looking for families, so individuals with kids. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you have to identify what your tribe is, and is your service in a price point where your tribe can afford it, right? So once you know who your tribe is and you know what price point they're in, or as far as what their yearly revenue is, then you can really get your pricing to where when you're advertising to that tribe, your pricing is in line with what they can afford to pay you. So that's very important, because you don't want to, for example, put yourself in a situation to where, let's just say, I've used this example in the past, where let's say that you are advertising to 20 to 25-year-olds, and let's say you're charging $3,000 for your service or consulting, whatever it may be. The problem is, there's not a lot of 20 to 25-year-olds that can just, dish out $3,000. So that's one problem. The other thing is your tribe actually 20 to 25-year-olds, right? So there's situations where maybe the individuals are converting better. Like maybe you're getting customers, let's say for every 100 20 to 25-year-olds you meet, you're closing 25%, right? But let's say for those stragglers that you're not necessarily focusing on, let's say the average buyer in those stragglers are, let's say, 30 to 35. Well, you're missing your market, because let's say they're converting at 50%, right? So you should really be focusing advertising on that 30 to 35 range, because you're going to get more for your dollar advertising them. Not only are they most likely, because of their age, more financially stable, but also they are converting more. So, and that could have to do with pricing. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables there, obviously, but my point is, make sure that you're figuring out who your target audience is, and you are pricing your product where you can fit them. Now, I do believe in that you will attract your tribe, meaning that if you engage, if you do all the things we're talking about, like your social media presence, you're engaging, you're putting your webinars out, you're getting out in the community, you're picking the right location, you're branding, you're giving examples. If you're doing all that, I do believe that you will attract your tribe. But even if your tribe comes, let's say they're the perfect customer, they need everything you're offering, and what you're offering can save them. Even with that, maybe they can't financially afford that service, right? So now let's jump in a little bit more, guys. I just want to really go through attract, what that is, things that you need to pay attention to. But now I want to talk about some strategies on what you can do to attract customers. Let me switch back over to my webcam here, guys. So what can we do to attract customers and also maintain freedom, right? This is very important, because at Processology, that's what we are all about, is not just owning a business, right? So we talk a lot about your big dream. What is your big dream, right? I don't know about you guys, but me as an entrepreneur, I want a successful business. I want my desired lifestyle. Maybe that's being able to take my laptop and go to Italy. Maybe that's me going to sail on the beach and who knows where, on an island somewhere, right? Maybe whatever that may be. It could just be being able to be home with my family. a lot of that's going to come from freedom, right? So even if you have a business that requires someone to be there, that someone doesn't necessarily have to be you. That's why you have people that hire other people, right? So you have Apple stores and Google locations and all these different stores, but the CEO is not necessarily, or the founder, the owner is not necessarily there at that location, right? And that location is still working, it's still running. And how are they doing that? The way they're doing that is, one, they have the right people. They're putting the right people in place. They're not micromanaging, and they're putting the right systems in place to do this. In order to run a business successfully, you need the right systems in place, and you need to implement it. Now, I'm a huge, I believe in very much is that software alone will not create your big dream. And let me explain a little bit more what I mean by that. As you can have the best software in the world, and if you're not using it correctly, if you don't have a strategy in place, it will not help your business. I see a lot of clients that we work with and we help create freedom and success through creative processes. I see a lot of them where before we start working with them, they're literally using their CRM as a digital Rolodex. They're not using any of the automation. They're not using the follow-up task. If you have a CRM system, especially if you have a CRM system that has a mobile app, which most do these days, that's the first thing you want to look at when you start working is, what's my task today? What's my to-do list? Who do I need to call? Who do I need to send an email to? What projects do I need to complete today? And if you do it right, and with us, we believe in automation. We live and breathe automation here at Processology. If you do it right and you put the process in place and you automate, you can actually, you would be amazed how much of your process, when it's laid out correctly, you can automate. And what you can trigger and can't trigger based off customer interactions, based off interactions of your employees, based off of a payment not going through, whatever it may be, there's resources out there that will help you take your business to the next level. And so when we say that, and when I say that, software alone will not save your business. It also takes a creative strategy that leverages that software. So let's go into a couple of examples. Let's go ahead and use a gym. I'm working with a client right now, so I think it's it's on my mind. So let's go ahead and use that. Let's say that you want to attract new clients. So how do you do that? So obviously advertising, that's very simple, right? So you have ads and you need to send them somewhere. What happens once you put an ad together, a Facebook ad? So that's going to have a source, right? That's a source. So let's say you have a campaign that's called, let's just call it Attract. And you have this source of potential leads. Let's say you're active in the community and you're going to networking events. Maybe that's another source. And then you have an organic source, people that are just finding you from wherever. What happens when they want to get in touch with you? So most companies today, I would say, it's pretty safe to say that most companies have a website. And most companies are sending advertisements and things like that to their websites. Now, if you're brick and mortar, you may be sending more of direct mail, maybe sales papers, maybe you're doing emails and text as well. But instead of sending them to a website, your goal is you're trying to get them into your store, right? So it's the same thing. Keep in mind, we're trying to attract. These are our sources coming in. But what happens when they come in? I'm going to give two examples. One example of being online and one example of being a brick and mortar. So let's go ahead and start with online. So you have a lead come in, let's say from Facebook. They clicked on an ad, maybe, if we're using a gym, transform your body in, 30 days. Let's just go with that. I've been trying to get mine in 30 days and it's been a couple of years and that's not working out very well for me. So, well, let's just go ahead and go with that example. So when I see that change my body in 30 days, if I click on your ad, I'm expecting to go to a page, right? So that's very important, and visualize yourself as your client. What is the next natural, organic step, right? It's to go to a page that tells me how I can transform my body in 30 days. So you don't want to send them to your home page. You don't want to send them to a sign-up page. You don't want to do all that. You want to send them to a page that says, transfer your body in 30 days using maybe special equipment, maybe using some formula you have, maybe using a diet plan you have, maybe, whatever that may be, a workout plan, whatever that may be. Sign up now and get whatever offer, right? So you want to give them an irresistible offer. So sign up now, get 30 days free. Sign up now, get 50% off. Whatever that may be to get them in. Now, another route you can go with online is give them something, let's say you're giving them something for free. So maybe you're going to give them a 30-day meal plan for free. But maybe your goal is to get them as a gym member, but you're going to give them this 30-day membership. You're going to give them this 30-day guide in order to get maybe their email or their name. So then you can start dripping information on them to eventually get them as a member within your gym. So with that being said, now we're offering them, we have two ways we can offer them, right? One is taking them straight into a membership through some type of irresistible offer, or two, just trying to get a name and email so that we can offer our product or service to them later. Now, what I would probably recommend in a case like the gym is I would probably go ahead and offer them the discount, the irresistible offer up front, and maybe have a pop-up or something of that sort on like an exit. So when they get ready to exit that landing page, the pop-up comes up and says, hey, don't leave empty-handed. Get this free 30-day guide to, get this free guide to whatever, lose weight in 14 days, whatever that guide may be. To at least capture the email at minimum. If they're not going to purchase, capture the email, capture a name, because now you can use this information to automate some type of nurturing campaign to get them to buy. Most customers, most visitors aren't going to buy the first time around, right? So the key is to capture information, to continue to build trust with them, to continue to prove why your service or your product will help them solve their obstacle or their problem. Now, let's go ahead and talk about, we'll go a little deeper into the attracting, but let's go ahead and talk about a brick and mortar. So in a sense of you send out an advertisement, whether that's social media or direct mail or whatever that may be, your goal is to get them into your location, right, to buy your service or to at least learn more about your service, or maybe it's to give you a phone call, whatever that may be. That's going to be a lot about your branding and your appearance, because I'll use a major company as an example. Let's say you have your local corner store market, or let's say liquor store or something of that sort. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times I see a liquor store and I'm like, I'm not going there, especially if it's later in the evening, right? They don't look safe. They're dark. They're kind of dingy looking. So it's like, nah, that doesn't look like a safe place for me to go today. But let's say you see a 7-Eleven, right? 7-Elevens are bright. They're branded. They look the same everywhere. There's a brand you feel like you can trust. They're usually clean. There's no one sitting outside the door waiting for you or anything like that. You feel safe when you go to something like a 7-Eleven. So that's a really good example on attracting, right? Because as a 7-Eleven, what's attracting about that is the trust, the safety. I can go in here and get what I need and not feel like I'm going to get robbed, for example, right? That's really important. The other thing is they're organized. So when I go in, I know the drinks are on one area, the beer's on another area, the chips are in one area. So it's really easy to find what I want. So that's very important when they're coming in. You want to make it as simple as possible. You want to make it as welcoming as possible. Greet them when they're walking the door. All of that is going to attract. The thing about a brick and mortar is that it is really important, if you want to attract, that you got to understand that the appearance of the exterior of your building, of your business, is crucial, because that's what they're going to see first. This is going to be a weird way for me to explain this, but it's my personality, guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Look at it as like a relationship, someone you're interested in, right? Most people are interested in another person based off of appearance, right? They see someone and they're like, oh, they're cute, they're handsome, they're pretty. And that's what grabs their attention. That's what attracts them. Then they learn about the personality, right? Then they learn about what kind of person you are. So same thing as far as your website or your store. You are, from the outside, what's attracting them in. And then once they're in the store, now you can, greet them and talk to them and show them that you're trustworthy and that you have good customer service and that you have a solution to their problem. So I hope that was a good example for you guys. One of the things that you probably hear a lot about if you've done your research, or what I'll go ahead and just mention here, is that when you, in a relationship, when you go on a first date, right, you're not asking for a kiss or anything like that on your first date. You are in a process of, what's the word for, guys? I'm drawing another blank here. Well, you're taking them out, you're getting to know them, you're building a relationship over time, right? So the same thing, look at that with your business, especially if you're an online business. You may not get the sale today, you may not get that kiss today. It may take you to get to know them, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, let them know they can trust you, let them know what your brand personality is. Who are you? Are you someone that's trustworthy? Are you someone that cares about them? About more than yourself, for example? Are you someone that is not just talking about the changes that they can make in your business or your home or your family? Hey, do you have any proven track record of that? So they need to get to know you, and every time they engage with you, whether that's social media, whether that's your website, whether that's through a phone call, whatever that is, they get more and more and more comfortable with you, right? And it gets them closer and closer and closer to purchasing that offer that you have, right? So it's very important. Build the trust to get them to purchase the offering that you have. So let's see here, guys. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and I want to jump back over to the Processology formula and talk to you a little bit more about this. So, guys, everything in this formula is these are things that you can do yourself, or you can hire someone to do for you. So it's crucial, and I hope today you were able to see and get value on what we're talking about in this particular session, because I think it's very important that you understand how everything that you do in your business is either attracting or repelling your ideal customer. So it's key to build that trust, and most clients aren't going to buy if they don't trust you, right? So if you ever go into a store and let's say you want to purchase bug spray, let's say, right? Like me, I don't like spiders, guys. That's something you can learn. You don't know about me at all. I would literally jump off this camera if a spider dropped here. I don't do spiders. So when I go to a store and I'm looking at bug spray, I'm reading all of these labels on, there's 20 different types of bug spray you buy, right? All these different brands. Some say kill instantly. Some say that they may show on the actual can or a spray bottle, kill spiders, kills flies, whatever that may be, kills on contact. For me, someone that obviously my problem is that I don't like spiders. I am afraid of spiders. So if I see a can of bug spray that says kill spiders on contact, that's me. I'm buying it. I don't even care if it costs more. It's targeted for me. And that's how you want to look at your products, is what is your customer looking for? You kind of got to get in your head a little bit, right? What are they looking for? And tap into that. So let's give a couple examples. It looks like we have a few more minutes here, about 14 or 15 minutes left in today's live stream. So let's try to get a little bit more into that. If you have a client that is, for example, let's go back to the dental. I like that option, that idea there. Let's go back to the dental. Let's say you have a toothache, right? And I am looking for a way. Let's say right now it is 11 p.m. at night, right? So what do most of us do? If we haven't had this before, we don't know what to do. We got two options. Either one, we can get in our car and go to our local pharmacy and see if they have something, if somebody's available to tell us what's going to work and what's not. Or we're going to go online and we're going to Google it, right? I don't know if you guys are like me, but I Google everything. So it's kind of part of our lives these days, right? So you go online and you're going to Google how to stop a toothache or home remedies for a toothache, whatever that may be. Now, if you have a blog post or a landing page or something of the sort that is targeted to that problem, then most likely you're going to get a call. You're going to get a call before the next dental company before they get a call, right? So let's say, for example, you have a headline on an advertisement. We're going to say Google AdWords since we're talking about Google. And let's say that advertisement says, do you have a toothache? Simple home remedies. I have a toothache, it's 11 o'clock at night, I can't go to the dentist, I don't really want to get out and get dressed and go to the store, and even if I did go to the store, I'm not really sure what to buy, right? So when I see that headline, that instantly attracts me because I'm like, okay, that's me, I have that problem, okay. Then it says home remedies. Okay, so this headline is telling me that it has something, it's going to teach me something that I can do right now at home without having to leave that will solve my problem, or at least give me some type of temporary relief, right? So I click on the ad. What happens next? Hopefully, you're going to be taken to a landing page that talks to you about your problem. And are you having a toothache? Is it, I'm not a dentist, so I don't know what all the technical stuff is, but is it on the left side? Is it on the right side? Is it this? Is it that? Is it throbbing, or is it a consistent pain? If it's this, and that, then try this, right? If it's this, and that, try this other thing. And so you're giving this help. And then maybe at the end of that, or somewhere in it, mention this will give you temporary relief to get you through the rest of the night or the rest of your day at work. Click here to schedule to come in to schedule a free consultation, or click here to get this permanently fixed. Whatever it may be, you want a clear call to action. So for me, I don't know about you guys, but if my tooth is hurting and I Google it, how to pain relief for toothache, and I see your advertisement that asks a question, hey, do you have a toothache? Yes, I do. Yes, I do have a toothache. Here's how to solve it. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to read it because I want to know. I need to know how I can solve my problem. And if you're giving me a solution to that, that's going to definitely solve my problem. I'm all in. I'm all ears. And because you help me solve my problem, I am more likely to click on your call to action, especially if you're local, right? So if you're a dental, most likely you're going to be local, and you're going to be advertising to individuals within a certain radius of your location. So again, this is your tribe, right? Your tribe, let's say your tribe is within 10 miles of your location. Then I want to get them to come into my office, right? That's something I'm trying to do. So, and I may even go as far as put your cell phone number here and we will call you first thing in the morning to set up an appointment. That may be that easy. So not only did you just solve my problem now, I don't even have to remember to call you to set up an appointment. You're going to call me. Like, that's just, yes, I want that. I want that. I need the relief. Again, let me go back, guys, just because it's on my mind. When I said your tribe, 10 miles, that's very important if you're using any type of advertisement and you are a brick and mortar location or you are a location that's very localized, that you are not advertising. While yes, it's great that you can give value to everyone in the country that has a toothache, as far as for your ad spend, if you have people in, let's say you're in California and you have people in Georgia clicking on your ad, and that's great, and they got that free information, and it just cost you, I don't know, let's say $20 to get that lead, or to get that click, or whatever it may be. And typically clicks are less than that, but whatever it may be, you paid money to get that click. Well, because, you know, at least not me, I don't think most people would go from Georgia all the way to California to get a toothache fixed, right? So you are not gonna get the outcome you're hoping for, and that's them booking a session with you to come in and get their teeth looked at. So make sure that you are, if you're a localized business or service, that you are advertising in your area and restricting it to that area. That way you're not spending unnecessary funds on advertising. All right, guys, looks like that's about it for the day. I hope that you got a lot of value out of that, and I hope that you were able to learn more about attracting your customer. And I hope that was able to kind of trigger and get your brain firing on things that you can do in your business to start attracting your clients, or maybe something you're doing wrong, or maybe you're doing it right, and maybe this was just confirmation for you. But we are going to have some other meetings going on, some other sessions, live streams where we're talking about all 6 of the stages in the Processology formula. And so that's going to be pretty useful for you guys. So some of these you might already have a process in place for, some of them you may not, some of them you may want to redesign, and some of them you may need to just make small little tweaks to. So either way, I think these sessions will be very valuable for you. And some of these will be featuring other names in different industries that can help you figure out better ways to create freedom within your life. So hey guys, I hope that's going to help you build some freedom. I'm Michael Wilson, founder of Processology, and that's going to be it for today's session. I'll see you guys in about 2 weeks in the next one. All right guys, have a good one and good luck out there. Remember, we're on a mission to break the chains of entrepreneurship. Peace out, guys.